Hi everybody, this is Lowell and we're talking about how to start a music school. And in this section I'm talking about core competencies, and these are things that I believe are important for every music school to teach, and are priorities for me in our school. And in this section we're talking about harmony and understanding of harmony. And there is a difference in understanding between classical harmony and jazz harmony. And I think it's important for music students in our modern culture to understand jazz nomenclature. I took a jazz theory class at the Eastman School of Music, and there were substantial differences in the way that jazz thinks about harmony versus how classical music thinks. I mean, there are obviously correlations between the two, but jazz is a little bit more of a recent development. Of course, compared to classical music. And when we were studying in our class several years ago, it was not standardized. Some of the nomenclature for how to name the symbols that would be used to name various jazz chords, even major nines or whatever, diminished or half diminished. You have all these different symbols that are used, and I think it's probably more standardized now, but it's a work in progress. And so it's important for the music student to understand what certain nomenclature is with jazz harmony. And in the previous video, I talked about keyboard harmony and understanding, how to look down at the keyboard and see various types of chords that are used. Especially for jazz, stacking thirds, the major 7, major 9, or the 7s, 9s, 11s, 13s, those types of chords, to be able to see them and to analyze what they are, and to understand how to name them, and the difference between basically classical harmony versus jazz harmony. One of the key differences is that jazz harmony doesn't really care about what key signature you're in. It just lists whatever chord you're currently on as the chord that you should be playing, whereas in classical music harmony, it's related to the key signature in terms of the way that those chords are written. So the modern musician should understand how to read jazz chords, is what I'm trying to say.
Do you have a place you'd rather have it? Do you have a place you'd rather have this in here? What's the matter? What's the matter?